All right. So it's 2 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Mountain time, 4 p.m. Central time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, 9 p.m. Western European time, 10 p.m. Central European time, 11 p.m. Eastern European time, and midnight further Eastern European time. And we are live on YouTube. And I'm here with Stig Andersen. And you are, I think you are the chairman or the leader of SIAN, which stands for Stop Islamization of Norway.
That's right. Mm.
And we are both here in a hotel room in Gdansk in Poland. Since we're on the same trip, we thought we could have a little conversation here.
Yeah.
So I brainstormed a few questions, so maybe we should just get started.
Yeah.
So I wonder, what are you trying to do as leader of SIAN, Stop Islamization of Norway?
Yeah, as a leader, I'm trying to get the people in Norway to be aware of the problem with Islam. That's the main reason we have the SIAN as an organization in Norway. And my main job in SIAN is to get the people, the other people on the board to play along and be a team, so we can hold stands around in Norway and deliver our message to try to get rid of Islam in Norway, because Islam isn't compatible with democracy and free society.
Oh, okay, good. I agree completely. And now I see we are getting a few people into the chat. We have 12 people who are watching, so welcome to everyone, and thank you for being here. And thank you for coming.
Yeah.
So
it's a pleasure.
Yeah, so I also wonder, what does SIAN as an organization stand for? What are your goals as an organization?
Yeah, I said a little about it. The goal for SIAN is to get the people to be aware of the problems with Islam, the changes that Islam will do on the Norwegian society if we let Islam grow as an like a religion value in Norway. So and we are trying to get people to be aware of how the society will the end how the society will become if we don't do anything now, if you don't do anything about the society we are seeing and is getting worse and worse.
So what kind of change do you see for Norway as a country if nothing is done about about Islam and Islamization?
Yeah, we will see the same problems as you see in Sweden and in Germany and in France and in Belgium and in Holland. It's the same problem everywhere. The Norwegian politicians are trying to convince us that Islam is different from country to country in Europe, and that's just bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fact is that Islam is the same everywhere, and we are trying to stop Islam before we get the same problems that you have in Sweden.
Yes,
So,
yes, exactly. Yeah, you're right. I think when I grew up in the 1980s, you would get comments like communism might be bad in Russia and in China, but in Sweden, if the communists came to power, you wouldn't get this bad communism. You would get nice communism, because Swedes are nice people. And I think it sounds kind of the same mindset there, that, oh, but we will get Swedish Islam, and Swedish Islam will be nice. Saudi Arabia Islam or Pakistani Islam might be bad, but we will get the good Swedish kind, which of course isn't true. But
there's no people are saying to me, you have to talk to Muslims.
Yeah,
I don't think many people in Norway have talked to more Muslims than I have, and there are many nice Muslims. The problem is that the Muslim thinking as a whole will have a negative impact on the Norwegian society over a time if you don't do anything about it. So that's a problem.
Exactly, it's a mindset or a
Yeah, it's a
system
mindset.
or a system.
And the funny thing is that you can have Muslims think that I don't want to change the Norwegian society, but the society will change because they have like fundamental values they are following.
Yes.
So that's yeah.
So it will be a clash of
Yeah,
civilizations, to use a famous phrase.
yes.
Also, to the people watching, I also just want to mention that if you send a super chat, I will read your message unless you write something really crazy. So don't do that. But if you do that, I'll just thank you for your donation. But otherwise, all super chats will be read out loud. I might comment on some other stuff going on in the chat too. Eventually, we'll see. But so that's what's going on. And if you want to support my work any other way, you can look at the links in the information under this box that you were looking at, and you can look at the PayPal links and Patreon links and all of that. So now I just given you my sales pitch, and we can go on with this conversation. I wonder, what kind of support do you get in your work at trying to stop Islam in Norway or stop Islamization?
Yeah, we are getting a lot of support. I guess at least 50% of the Norwegian population is supporting us, but there isn't many of them don't have the balls to say it out loud because you have this political correctness that is still dominating the society. But when if I'm talking to people private, it's very often they are saying that we understand the problems with Islam and we support Sian. So we have a lot of support, but yeah, it's like a support under the table.
Right, right. Yeah, people who might say one thing in public and another thing in private. Yeah, or maybe they keep quiet in public.
Yeah, they keep quiet in public. Yes.
Okay, Joel Ulrich says, "Is there sound? Maybe it's my speakers not working." I hope there is sound here. It seems like other people are responding to what we are talking about. So please let me know that you're okay. Sound good here, says Kids Are Mean. Good. I noticed that David Norton says, "What is it really like in Poland?" Well, if you stay around for a little more here, David, we will get to that too. So let's see, where were we? Do you experience any resistance against your organization, Sian?
Yes, political parties and the organizations like anti-racistic organizations in Norway is just like hating us. They have no real reasons for it. They can't point on anything we're doing. They're just calling us racist.
Yeah.
When I'm trying to say what is it that we are saying wrong, we're not getting any explanation or it's but that's Norway. I think it's the same in Sweden and every other country in Europe. But I see now there's like a different tone, a little different tone now, and there was just maybe a year ago, because the people against us are now realizing that what we are telling is the truth. They're seeing the problems in Norway and especially in other countries in Europe, and even they are. Many of them are I call brain dead. They have this. They understand that something is going on, so they don't have this massive against us as a massive argument against us.
Right. They don't really have an argument. They just they reason emotionally rather.
Yeah, everything is just feelings, and nothing is something concrete about what we're saying. Just like we hate you, and yeah, we just hate you.
Yeah.
So
and also I wonder, do you experience that people go after you personally?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't. I've gotten some We have been on stands in Norway, around in Norway, and I get some death threats against me, but that's that's there and then, and
Right.
not in my personal email. Maybe one time
Okay.
I got, but nothing against me or my family. No, not yet.
Oh, that's good.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I know in Sweden you have more of this personal threats, but not yet.
Okay, very good.
Mm.
And also, we should talk a little about the recent events in Norway.
Mm.
Tomorrow, there will be a demonstration in favor of Sylvi Listhaug outside of Parliament. So what do you think about this demonstration and about the events that has been taking place that led to this?
Yeah, after this, we talked a little about it, and it's hard to explain it even in Norwegian, but I'm going to try because if you look at the situation in Norway and the problems with Islam, it's just been growing for years and years, and people are just seeing this and reaching out a hand, trying to find a political party or maybe a person that can fix it or find a solution for the problems with Islam. And this party, FRP, and the Progress Party, Progress Party, and this person like Sylvi Listhaug that is in front of this party. Representing the politics that should be a solution for the problems with Islam, and people are just like reaching out for this party. Person is going to fix our problems,
right?
And over the years, this like obsession has been bigger and bigger, and the people supporting her is like hating the other side, the other political parties, and vice versa. And you have this like this battle, this brain dead battle that has nothing to do with politics. It's just like the rhetoric between the political parties. And I'm saying that why don't you just take one step back and look at what has this person and this Progress Party done? Has the situation been any better? And the truth is that it's been worse. There have never been coming in more Muslims to Norway and than the last 4 or 5 years. The Islamization of Norway is worse. The problems with Islamic criminals, like burning cars, throwing rocks, is worse. The problems that Sian is experiencing on stands around Norway is worse. The Muslims are taking more control of the stands, taking controls of the area. They feel that and noticing that they are controlling the area. The police can't do anything about it, or they won't because they're afraid, and they're just controlling the situation. And the string, it's and so this political party haven't done anything to get the situation better. And so I'm in this strange situation where I'm supporting a person not because of the politics, because the politics isn't there, but I'm supporting because of this overlaying rhetoric battle between them, and not the actual politics. So it's just a bizarre, strange thing. So I like this woman, Sylvi Listhaug, but has the situation in Norway been any better? No, it's been worse. So we need something new.
Yes. So what are you doing, or what is your, well, how do you try to change people's minds about Islamization or about Islam in general?
It's really hard to get people to understand the problems with Islam. So the best thing we are doing is to show them. And we had 2 stands last year, one in Gjøvik and one in Arendal.
Yes.
Where you can see the true values of Muslims in the society. Because if you are doing this on Muslims, yeah, they won't show the true faces.
No.
But if you are saying what Islam is, and the problems with Islam, it will trigger the Muslims, and you will see the true values of that. Oh, and they destroyed our equipment. They attacked the police. They threatened to burn down the tent. They were going home and get a gun to shoot us. They were gonna cut my throat.
Right.
And yeah, so that's the and very many and there were many people watching this, and I think they got like an experience of Jesus. Is this value in my society today? And this was on the broad daylight.
Yes.
Like 10,000 other Norwegian people in the streets, and they were just controlling the whole situation. These Muslims, and that's frightening. So that's the best way you can show the Norwegian people these values.
Yeah, it's very scary, and I've seen the video from Gjøvik, from the Gjøvik battle.
Yeah, it's surreal.
Yeah,
it's just crazy. The police is just, the people are standing on our cars. The police is getting dragged down. The Muslim is just taking the police and laying them on the floor, and
right.
And no, it's chaotic.
Yeah. So since we are here in Gdansk in Poland, what is your impression of Poland so far?
I just love Poland. I was like you. I was looking for one thing yesterday, and that was if I can see a person with a hijab.
Yes.
And I couldn't see one single one. So this is a really free society where you can see the people are just loving their country. The nationalism is strong. I mean the true pure nationalism.
Right.
And you're putting your country in front, and you just love your society and love the values that your society is based on. And I just love it.
Yeah. Sculptor says, link to video of the protest event, please. I will look for that video later and add it to the links in the information box.
Yeah, it's many videos. Our videos is the main reason some of these Muslims got in jail. I think one of them got 6 months in jail.
Right.
Because of these videos. Many videos. It's we're gonna link them afterwards.
Yes, and I will also add a link to Sian's YouTube channel.
Yeah,
I have a link to your webpage now in the link to. I will edit the links a little after this conversation. Is there anything you think that Norwegians or Western Europeans in general maybe can learn from the Poles or from Poland?
Yeah, you can learn. The Polish people has learned they learned about the Nazism and communism.
Yes.
And they know how it is to live in a society with suppression and totalitarian regime. And they don't want that again.
No.
And that's the reason why they are so against Islam, because they see that this is the same. It's the same problems. So
yeah, I think they spot
yeah,
totalitarian ideas when they see them, because
they smell it.
Yeah.
So we have to learn, and the other thing we can learn is to appreciate our country, appreciate the values we have, that the values that our country is based on. Is important. It's important to nourish these values and keep them safe.
Yeah, absolutely. So we kind of went through my entire list, but I wonder, do you have any other thoughts or advice, any comments to add?
No, also, when I'm talking to people, I guess the people watching this have the same ideas or the same.
In general, yes.
Yeah. So I said to people that I'm talking to that be strong, try to deliver the message about the problems with Islam in Europe, and don't be afraid to talk about them, because this battle we are facing or battling, we are winning it, because the problems with Islam in Europe will just grow, um, and we have to try to. I don't want to wait until the problems is so big that my family will have big problems in the future. So
Exactly.
I want to put on the table now the problems with Islam, so everyone sees it and can maybe reflect on it, and we have to come to some sort of conclusion that what do we have to do to get a society we can live with, where maybe Islam has some small role in. But in a may have some small role, but in some sort of what do you even call it,
Limited way.
Limited way. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I used to say that if there would be 2 Muslims who would have moved to Norway in the 1970s, and only 2, they would not have been a big problem. But when you get, how many are there? Maybe 500,000, something like that.
In Norway?
Yeah.
I think it's between 250 and 350,000.
Yeah. Then you suddenly have a problem, because 2 people cannot change the country, but 350,000 are enough in a small country like Norway, with 5 million people, and especially if most of the other people are being very sensitive about these people, not to offend them, and we mustn't say that because that's racist. Although, as I see that Laurie P mentions in the chat, Islam is not a race.
No, that's
Islam is not an ethnicity, it's not a skin color, it's not a race. So it's not textbook racism, even though I heard that the UN have tried to change.
Yeah, you have the UN version of where religion and is a part of the definition of racism, but
yeah, we have the Norwegian Prime Minister now, Anna Solberg, who supposedly is a conservative. She is from the supposedly conservative party of Høyre, which literally means the right or the right wing. But
pink.
Yeah, I call them pseudoconservatives. And she's recently, in all this debacle around Sylvi Listhaug, she started talking about religious racism.
Yeah.
But she wasn't referring to people who disliked Buddhists or Sikhs or Hindus or Jews or Christians. No, it was, of course, people who don't like Islam.
Yeah, they use this new word, religious racism, because they know that ordinary racism has gone just out of date.
Yeah,
there is no more punch in this phrase, racism, because it's just been used too much. So they're getting this new expression to get some to put some more weight behind it, but it's just the same bullshit. So
yeah, and I also think that whatever I'm going to call them, the left, or well, the politically correct people, they come in all of the parties in the Norwegian parliament.
Yeah, they're liberals.
Yeah, we could call them that.
Yeah,
liberals.
These problems with Islam has nothing to do with left or right wing anymore, because many of the so-called right wing parties or people are especially the right wing party.
Yeah.
They are for Islam in Norway.
Yes.
Even the prime minister said yes to Sharia 10 years ago. So.
Yeah, she wanted Sharia.
Yeah, she wanted to test out Sharia in Norway. So and she has been, I think she has been married to some guy from Africa. So nothing wrong about that. But then you can see the.
well, if she was married to a Muslim, that might have made something with her mindset.
Yeah.
But I think we are seeing how mainstream media are acting desperate, and activists, left liberals or liberals, and I think they realize that they are losing support in the general population. They realize that they are losing this battle, and that's why they're acting. That's why they're acting so desperate. And that's, for instance, this is why I know that one day they might just remove my channel here. And they could close down my website. They could do a lot of things.
They have been controlling the media now for many years, and now they have to come out of their comfort zone because they see that they're losing their battle, and in this battle they're just the rhetoric they're using is just it's stupidity. There's no logic whatsoever, but for them it's logic. They're doing everything to win this battle, and you see it especially in the United States, and the same thing is coming here in Norway. So and other countries like Sweden is beyond repair.
I always say that I hope I'm wrong, but I think Sweden is lost. I use Sweden as a warning example. Don't do like Sweden, because then you will get that result. Then you will have Swedish conditions. If I am wrong, which I hope I am, and Sweden turns around, I will start pointing to Sweden as a good example instead and say, look, they turned around and made things good. Do that.
But it's hard to turn around, because then you have to say it's like the ideological thinking this politician has had for several decades. It's wrong. It's like the whole foundation of their thinking is just been wrong. So you won't get these people. These people will never admit that what they are standing for is wrong. So I think you have to need to get some new political parties to take control, or this will just go down the drain.
Yeah, absolutely. And so which parties do you think we should get into parliament instead of the ones we have now?
You think in Norway?
Yes, in Norway.
You have the Democrats in Norway. It's a small party.
And they're not related to the Democrats in the US, by the way.
No, but a small party, and I was a member there. The politics they have against Islam is good. They want to put the true Islam on the table and discuss it. And to get the Muslims in Norway to acknowledge the problems with Islam, and get rid of this double communication and this. But because that's the problem. Because in Norway, you say you have all this moderate and secular Muslims with this message, and but if you listen good. If you listen what they're saying, you will see that you will hear that the message is very what do you call it, like tvetydig.
Disambiguous or something like that.
Ambiguous, that's right.
And there is a point I was thinking about now. We have these people who pretend to be moderate Muslims, whatever that is. Erdogan says that there is no moderate Islam. No, Islam is Islam. I think he's right on that one. I don't like Erdogan, but I think he might be right on that one. Yeah, he's right. And the thing is, we remember the Muhammad cartoons in Jyllands-Posten back in 2005, and all these crowds of people protesting against these cartoons in the streets of Denmark, Norway, Sweden, all over the West, and you had people burning Danish flags. I think they were burning Norwegian flags and Swedish flags too, because they didn't know the difference.
Burning everything.
But you never see, for instance, you don't see moderate Muslims showing up at demonstrations in favor of free speech or against stonings of women, or all these things that are happening because of Islam. So, I mean, I guess moderate Muslim might mean that you're not very active in the Muslim community, but you will not stand up and say this is wrong.
or they're just saying like you have to take their word for it that they are supporting the Norwegian society or the democracy and the Western thinking, but they're not showing it in practice.
Exactly.
So
exactly, and action speaks louder than words.
yes.
And let's see if I can remember what I was thinking now. All these demonstrations. Yeah. There is a meme that goes around sometimes on social media, and it says when Islam is a small minority, when you only have a few Muslims in a country, maybe 0.5%, maybe 1%, Islam is peaceful and it advocates tolerance. But when it starts growing, it becomes more aggressive.
Yeah.
And for instance, if you would be a Christian in Egypt or in Pakistan, you will be treated, there's no tolerance there.
No.
Or even worse, if you're an atheist in Egypt, I think you might have seen that.
Yeah.
You saw that?
Islam is the same all over. I said on a speech one time that Islam is like McDonald's, because the cheeseburger has the same taste wherever you are in the world.
Yeah.
I've been many places, and the cheeseburger tastes exactly the same, and that's the same with Islam. Islam is like this easy, simple recipe, and you will see that it's the same steps all over the world. It's just about numbers. It's just about numbers.
Exactly. So okay, so now we have 28 people watching, and that's great. So thank you.
Is that some new high or something?
No, I think the high is maybe 35 or 40 at the same time, but I see that the numbers are slowly growing.
You seeing this?
Yeah, you have these. You have your Norwegian flags there.
And that's a funny thing. If you're going with this like this shirt or sweater in Norway now, it's like I think you are some sort of nationalist or maybe a fascist or it's just crazy.
That's really crazy because
if it's just a plain day, not a special day, and you're using this, now they're thinking this guy, I think he's a nationalist or something. So, but I'm wearing it. I'm going to use it on every stance I'm going to hold in Norway this year.
And in what I call the good old days, it's not that long ago in Norway, everyone would have a flag, and there was nothing wrong with that.
No.
They started in Sweden a lot earlier with this. You can't have a Swedish flag outside your house because then you must be a racist.
Yeah.
There's nothing racist about the Swedish flag or the Norwegian flag. It's just a symbol of the country. But apparently
we are in Norway. Not now, but I'm living in Norway.
Yeah.
Then I can show the Norwegian flag.
Exactly.
It's like it's crazy to think that we have to show some sort of understanding for other people.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't tolerate the Norwegian flag in Norway, then get the fuck out.
Yeah. And speaking of flags, I've got a Polish flag that I bought earlier today. And well, I think the Poles, they don't have a problem with their own flag.
No.
I don't think they will get one either.
No. So this sweater I was buying on the color line, the boat between Norway and Germany.
Exactly.
You may find this in some shops for visitors to Norway or something, but in a regular shop, I don't think you get like this sweater with the Norwegian flag on it.
Yeah. Peter Duncan says, imagine if there was a World War III. The Muslims would soon be back in their native lands as they wouldn't fight for their adopted nation. Well, I wish you were right, but I am fearing that there will be civil war breaking out all over Western Europe. Maybe not in Portugal, because Portugal doesn't have many Muslims. And maybe not in Ireland if they are able to stop the plan to get them 1 million new citizens, and most of those new citizens would be Muslims. But in most of the other countries, I see pressure. The pressure is boiling in the UK with all the stuff that's been going on there with Tommy Robinson and with the people who were denied entry. Brittany Pettibone, Martin Sellner, Lawrence Southern, who were just denied entry for stupid reasons because they weren't going to do anything criminal in the UK. And also things going on in Germany, in Sweden. I see that this could explode. And I mean, I fear the reaction in one way. The longer we wait, the worse it will get. And you can get a really bad reaction. You could get people who will confuse Islam with ethnicity, and they might go after anyone who looks more than averagely dark. So if we don't do anything about this now, we're just waiting for things to get a lot worse.
Yeah, it's a crazy development in Europe. I see that the problems are just escalating year after year, and the things they are talking about is just natural things the government have to do to try to keep control.
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to do something about the problems. They're doing something about the people that are trying to do something about the problems.
Yeah, exactly. Kill the messenger.
Yeah, kill the messenger.
Yeah. Instead of doing something about the actual problem, we are not you and me, but the official society, like the public, mainstream media, politicians, they don't want to talk about the problems. They want to sweep it all under the rug. And as we can see, they've been doing that for a long time in Sweden. And even in Sweden, you may not have a silent majority yet, but you have a large minority who doesn't like what's going on in Sweden. Even in Sweden, if you just look at the numbers, at the polls for the Sweden Democrats, they're up at 24%, I think was the last numbers. That's almost a fourth of the population. And
the people are desperate.
Yeah, and if you think about it, in Sweden, they don't have statistics on people's religion. So we don't know how many Muslims live in Sweden. But according to calculations, and this was done by a left-wing anti-racist activist, so he shouldn't have any reasons to make the numbers any larger than they are. And this guy thinks that maybe 10% of the population of Sweden
I think
are Muslims. And 10%, I think, is pretty close to the tipping point.
Yeah.
As we can see from all the things that have been going on in Sweden, cars burning, rocks being thrown at police, firefighters.
Yeah, I think also 10%. I think is over the critical point. I think the only reason because you still have a functioning society is the money.
Yeah.
Remove the money. And the benefits these people are getting, and I can promise you will get
there would be
you will get a society with rights you wouldn't imagine.
There would be a lot more violence if you would suddenly remove benefits.
And that's the same in Norway. They just in Oslo you have Groruddalen. There are big places where there 50% of the population is Muslims. And they're using most of the money in all of Oslo on just these places to give them all of things like ping pong board and everything you can and you can dream of to just keep the pressure down.
Yeah,
and that's just a wrong way to handle the problems.
Yeah, because
one day the money will be gone, and then it will say boom.
Yes, because as you know, and as most of the people in the chat knows, even though I grew up in Sweden and Swedish is my mother tongue, I'm Swedish culturally, but I live in Oslo, Norway since 2006. And I've started to notice the changes in Sweden first. I was comparing Norway and Sweden. I saw that Sweden, only since 2006, a lot of stuff has happened in Sweden. There were no cars burning back in 2006.
No.
There were no rocks being thrown in 2006. You had problems with gang rapes and you had problems with honor killings, but you had some, you might call it, internal problems within Muslims with the honor killings, and you had the gang rapes. But all the other stuff has come after 2006. Yeah. And in 2005, when France was burning, in Sweden, politicians and mainstream media said, it's a very unfortunate situation in France, but that will never come to Sweden because in Sweden we take care of people. We make sure that people are well fed, and if they don't have a job, we'll give them some welfare, so there won't be any problems. And now we're seeing the same in Sweden. And I've also started to notice that these things are starting to happen in Norway too.
Yeah.
Mostly in Oslo, but I also saw something from Trondheim a few days ago.
Just not only like the feeding you're talking about, keeping them warm and giving them money, but it's about the rhetoric and the what you can say in the society. Because only the last year, we in Sian noticed that like I said before, the Muslims are taking more control now.
Yeah.
It isn't just the classic left-wing liberals people that are shouting against us. Now there are Muslims taking control and telling us what to do, and they're controlling everyone. It's strange to see, and so they are just driving the agenda now.
Yeah, and actually one thing that you can see is how Muslims try to subvert political parties to become more Islam friendly, or even, for instance, and often they do it with small parties. In Sweden, this has happened to the Green Party, and it has happened to the Center Party. Both are pretty small parties, but a lot of Muslims joined, and then they started arguing, well, for their ideas. And you had this lay judge in Solna, right outside Stockholm, because in Sweden, lay judges are appointed politically. The parties appoint, so it's a really crazy politicized system. But anyway, so they had this woman in a hijab sitting in court, judging on cases, and she was, I mean, she's pro Sharia. She said it herself, and because the case was this divorce. Oh no, let's see. Yeah, this woman who reported her husband for physical abuse, and they freed him, and they said because he comes from a good family, and this woman apparently doesn't, and in her circles she should have talked to his family.
Yeah, this is Sharia. This is pure Sharia, and it's just I read about this and it's just I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. I think there is many people in Sweden that couldn't believe it. So, but that's typical Islam. You are just pushing Islam a little bit. Something you will get through, and something will they won't take, and maybe next year they will get a little bit. So they're getting closer and closer to Islamic State.
Yeah,
and that's not, and people are saying now you're as a this won't happen, but it will, and this is a clean example of it.
Yeah, they say that it's just crazy conspiracy theories.
Yeah,
and I agree that there are crazy conspiracy theories out there, but this is not one of them.
No.
You just need to look at the history of Islam and what it has done to other countries.
Yeah.
For instance, if we look at Lebanon was a small Christian country in the Middle East. They had a majority population that was Christian, and it was a relatively wealthy country. I mean, they weren't as rich as their southern neighbor Israel, but compared to everyone else in the region, they were really well off. Beirut was the Paris of the Middle East. But then they started letting Muslims in because they felt sorry for them. And what happened to Lebanon? You had civil war going on in the 80s, and Lebanese Christians have left the country. There are some left still, but a lot of them live in Sweden or in America instead.
Lebanon is very the same as Norway and Sweden. Because I know some people that know some families in Lebanon.
Yeah.
And they and these people was Christian, and they had neighbors that was Muslims, and they were barbecuing, and they had a good relationship. And like this, Islam took over, and you got the problems, and they Islam was taking over the role, and and the friendship was
over.
Was over. So and the same thing will happen here if it will take 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. I don't know, but it will happen if you don't do anything.
Yeah.
It's like people are saying to me, it won't happen. When Jesus Christ, it has happened every single time for over 1,000 years.
Yes.
Every single place on earth.
Yes. For instance, take North Africa. North Africa used to be a very cultivated place. North Africa was Christian, but then it became Islamized. And today, North Africa is just a horrible place with terrible countries like Egypt, Algeria, Tunis, Morocco. All of these countries are just horrible places now, and Islam did this to them. And even, I mean, Turkey used to be the East Roman Empire. What was his name? Byzantium, which was a place with culture, and then the Turkish tribes invaded and they kicked out the emperor, and you had the caliphate instead.
The funny thing is that I've been a lot to these countries, and the last time I was in Egypt, I was in a 5-star hotel with like a castle around the complex. It was three hotels.
Yeah.
And I was talking to some of the people working there, the guards, Muslim guards, and they told me not that there was something wrong about Islam, but they told me the problems with the population and the reason why they were there.
Yeah.
So like so it was funny to see to talk to Muslims and talk about Islam and the problems with Islam, because Muslims in these countries know the problems with Islam. And that's the problem with Norway, because in Norway it's so easy to be Muslim in Norway because we have all this money and we have this democracy and we have this freedom.
Yeah.
So it's the best country in the world to be a Muslim.
Yes.
Until Islam takes control.
Yeah, because then it will be
a shithole.
Yeah, then it will be just as horrible. Then Norway will be just as horrible as any Islamic nation. And all the oil in the world won't help.
No.
I mean, Saudi Arabia has a lot of oil, and they have a lot of money. They actually have, what do you call it? The government gives every citizen gets money from the government. They don't have to work. I think they have a little problems with that now, but
the economy to Saudi Arabia is going down.
It's going down, so they have problems with that now. But the point is, all the oil wealth in the world won't save you. No. Nothing
can save you.
No.
Because money can't save you, because it's this Islamic mindset that is just destroying the foundation of the society. It's easy as that.
And I mean, a valid question to ask is, why are people leaving Islamic countries and moving to Western countries? That's
a funny thing.
Yeah, why are you moving from Syria to Sweden or Norway and not to, for instance, Iraq or Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, I have asked at least 30 people about this.
Yes.
And not one single guy will tell you that it was Islam that's the problem.
Yeah.
I went to Norway because Islam has a foundation, value foundation that makes my life miserable.
Yeah.
They won't say that. No, it is never Islam. It's something else.
Yeah.
It's bombing the Americans.
It's always the
just
Americans.
Plain bad luck or something.
Yeah.
So.
I was told once by a Norwegian citizen of Pakistani background. He said the problem with Pakistan is the corruption.
Yeah.
That's why Pakistan is a bad country. And this is a long time ago, so I didn't ask him what I would have asked him today. Today I would have said, okay, and why is Pakistan a corrupt society? Does it have anything to do?
Why is there lots of corruption in all Islamic countries?
Yeah. And you could argue that it's clan culture, but actually Islam strengthens clan cultures and tribalism, because you can't build a functioning country with Islam and then people will stick with their clan, with their tribes. So, I mean, they are kind of linked together.
Yeah. Islam isn't the reason for all problems, but very many of them.
Yeah. I used to say that political correctness is our inner threat, and Islam is the outer threat. However, it is also turning into an inner threat because political correctness invited Islam into our societies.
Yeah,
it's like a Trojan horse, really.
Yeah, it's a Trojan horse. So no, it's just a crazy development we are experiencing, and it's like I said, it's surreal, and what we in Sian is trying to do is just try to wake up the people before it's too late.
Yeah, and sometimes I think when you discuss with people, well, who are pro-Islam, or who may not want to criticize Islam because they think you shouldn't do that because that's racist. I don't see how that is racist, but for the sake of argument. But I think I will probably not be able to convince someone who really thinks Islam is a good idea, or who thinks if you criticize Islam you're a racist. I will probably not be able to convince that person.
No, I'm not trying to convince them, because I think they're just a lost cause. I'm using my effort to convince the major population that is like the neutral part of the society, that is standing in the middle and thinking there is something wrong about this about Islam, and try to convince them that you have to take just understand that what the problem with Islam is, and take a stand and try to join us in the battle against Islam.
Yeah, and the people I think that might be convinced are the people who are watching silently without commenting themselves. If it's a Facebook debate or if it's on the street, wherever it is, there are always a lot of people who won't engage in discussion, but they are still listening or reading.
Yeah, it's a tough battle. There isn't many people that has the balls to stand on the street and say what we are doing against Islam. It's tough. You have the police standing around. The police are taking pictures. You're getting threats. It's tough. It's tough. I got a soldier coming up to me, a UN soldier, and he was saying he has been to Afghanistan, he has been to Iraq, and he said to me, and straight into my eyes, looking straight into my eyes, and saying, "What you're doing, I wouldn't do this because I don't have the balls."
Yeah, what I what I think is that people really need to grow a spine.
Yeah.
But also what we have talked about this before, and I think we have the same idea about this. I have mentioned that most people are followers.
Yeah.
Most people won't take a stand in public and stand up for it when they start to get resistance against it, when they are faced with heavy opposition. A few people will, maybe 10% of the population.
They will if they see they are part of a mass.
Yeah.
Because if we have a stand and you are like one of 5 people standing in front, everyone will look at you.
Yeah.
If there was like 500 or 1,000 people there, you can just drown into the masses.
Yeah.
And you can be a part of it. So it's important to get enough people so more people can join.
Exactly. And that's one of the things I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to achieve, what I talk about is we need critical mass. We don't need a majority to begin with.
No.
We need critical mass, and critical mass is something like 10 or 12%. Because if you have 10% who actively are standing up for something, and they are standing up even when they are met with opposition, and that opposition could be all sorts of things. It could be that you lose your job because you said the wrong things. Yeah. But when you reach about 10%, they will be the majority of people who are taking a stand for anything, and then followers will start to follow.
I think you need less. If you take like Oslo.
Yes.
If you feel the big square in front of the what do you call it? Stortinget?
Yeah, the parliament.
The parliament, yes. If you just filled up this place with people,
yeah,
I can assure you that the people in the parliament will recognize this and think 2 times.
Yeah. Yeah, so 1,000 people standing outside
Yeah,
the parliament building.
yeah.
So actually, maybe we should return briefly to the demonstration that will go on tomorrow. As I said, I support the support.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure about Sylvie Listhaug anymore, but I see why they are going after her. It's not about her anymore.
Yeah, it's more now because they were sending her flowers.
Yeah.
And now political politicians from
the Labour Party,
from the Labour Party
Yeah.
is now writing to the
florist,
to the florist saying, Interflora, and saying that why are you sending these flowers to this person Listhaug? Don't you know what these people are standing for? And this is just crazy. This is communism.
Really.
This is clean communism.
Yeah.
So it's these things are making me want to be here and give us support.
Yeah, and the thing is, so I mean, we won't be able to be there tomorrow.
No, because we are in Poland.
Yeah, and
but I think this is going to be maybe a big clash.
Yeah,
because so this I'm so sorry I can't be there because this is going to be so funny.
Yeah.
I just love it when there are many people and there's like a battle, and I just love it.
Yeah, because if I would be in Oslo tomorrow, which I won't, I will be in Oslo on Monday, but not tomorrow. If I had been in Oslo, I would go downtown with my camera and just start to record. Of course, I mean, but what I'm telling people on Facebook, if you're in Oslo, please just show up. If there would be 1,000 people, maybe even more, I don't know. Let's say there would be 5,000 people standing outside Parliament. First of all, it will have a really good impact on the people in Parliament. Second of all, there will be enough people so that other people will feel comfortable to join the crowd, because you don't have to stand at the front line. You can stand somewhere in the back and no one will see you, but they will still see that the number of people standing there is growing, and so it will be interesting to see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything can happen. So, but it's like the society has been so polarized.
Yeah.
It's just you have the people for and the people against.
Yeah.
And like the people between, you don't see them.
Exactly.
So I don't know what's going to happen, but I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah. We in one way we live in very exciting times. We just have to hope and work for that things reverse and become better before it's too late. And I mean, in one way, it's never really too late. If you look at Spain, for instance, or the Iberian Peninsula, they were under Islam for 800 years or something like that, and they eventually turned around. But we don't want Norway or Sweden to be Islamic for 800 years. We want to stop it, to nip it in the bud before.
No, it's hard to say. Also, people are saying that Norway is going to be an Islamic state and Sharia, and I don't know if this is going to happen. The only thing I know is that if you don't do anything and put Islam on the table and talk about the real Islam, we will get some real serious problems in the future. And the society we are used to and the values that our country are based on is gonna get removed, or maybe get pulverized in some ways. We are gonna get a society that is less secure, and
and I mean, the only people of Islamic background that I have any respect for are the ex-Muslims. I know that there are 2 ex-Muslims that will speak tomorrow in Oslo. It's Shurika Hansen, who is, I think she's born in Somalia, came to Sweden as a child, and she has left Islam. And she is not a moderate Muslim. She is not a secular Muslim, because she was asked that question recently, and she said, "No, I do not believe in Islam. I don't practice Islam." And I mean, she's married.
And even her is been looked at as like a right-wing person.
Yeah, or a racist.
Yeah, or a racist, because she's not on the classic left side in the discussion. She is joining us in the battle.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy.
She wrote a very interesting article recently, and she wrote about the legitimate racism from foreigners. She called it that. Of course, it was kind of a sarcastic title, but she told what she was called by mostly Muslim men. She said, I haven't really experienced any racism from ethnic Norwegians, but from Muslim men, especially Pakistanis, but actually even from Somali men.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. So now I have learned that Somalis have a derogatory term for black people, which is really interesting because I thought they were black.
Yeah, but
I mean,
we in Sian have experienced that because we have had the people holding speeches and they know the language of these people.
Yeah.
And a woman in Sian kept a speech, and she was telling us that there were several men, Muslim men, saying "fucking whore, fucking whore, fucking whore" for 10 whole minutes.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll try to explain this without getting flagged by YouTube. So I'll say, Shurika Hansen has been called by Pakistani Muslim men. She's been called House Negro. They think that's a legitimate term to use. I wouldn't call anyone that because I mean and it's a misunderstood expression, by the way. But let's not go into that right now. But the point is, and they think they are allowed to use these terms and call people this, and they think it's perfectly fine because they disagree with them and because she happens to be from Somalia. And we also have this other guy who's going to speak. I think his name is Semal Knudsen something. I think he's Turkish originally.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but he I haven't heard that much from him. There was another reaction I saw also to this religious racism. I mean, the Norwegian Prime Minister expression. There is an ex-Muslim in Norway who calls herself Jeanette. That's what she writes only under her first name, but I've seen her entire name. But let's go by her first name. And she was writing an article about religious racism, and she went through her life. I think she is of Pakistani background, and she has left Islam, and she had to go under. She had to move a lot of things, and she wrote, "Why can't they just say that we stand with Islam and we want to ban blasphemy against Islam? Because they would at least be honest. And when that happens, I want to be as far away from Norway as possible when they get in power."
Yeah. No, so it's funny with this Shurika Hansen and these ex-Muslims because many of them are like blacklisted. But you have a person like Sumaya Yirda Ali, a new person that is in the spotlight in Norway now. A Muslim, an Islamist using hijab, the real right way. Covering all the hair and saying that she hates white supremacy. She hates the white people. Some sort. She fuck the police. Fuck the authorities. Fuck everybody. And like the left wing is just like doing like this, and it's just surreal to see this support she's getting. She's like tramping and spitting on everything this country is standing for.
And that's what started. That's what started the conflict this time.
Yeah.
That was the starting point with her comments, and there was a lot of stuff being written about it in reset.no, a Norwegian alternative media site. And then all of this it's like a snow.
Yeah. And then people get angry and
of course they are.
And call her things or some and call her things because what she's saying. And then people are telling me things, and I'm getting depressed, and sorry me, and everyone just and like and people like me getting death threats and everything. No problem.
Yeah, and I mean, Erna Solberg, the Norwegian Prime Minister, she hasn't publicly addressed, as far as I know, the treatment, how Sylvi Listhaug has been treated.
No.
And she hasn't addressed. Let's take Shurika Hansen, who has to have an alarm on her all the time because that she is getting threatened by Muslims for being anti-Islam and of Muslim background. I think that's what really provokes them, that one of their own left them. And she knows all their secrets. But anyway, but I never heard Anna Solberg mention her.
No.
So when I say that Høyre, the right-wing party, they really are only pseudo-conservatives, it's because they are taking the liberal side in all of these discussions when it comes to value systems. And I mean, as conservatives, they should be in favor of Western civilization. But no, instead they are like, oh, all cultures are the same, all religions are the same, it's not a problem. Okay, so why are people walking from...
if you have the right thinking,
yeah,
it doesn't matter what you are saying or doing.
No, exactly.
Yeah, you can do everything you want.
Yeah.
If you are in the political correctness, it's okay.
Yeah.
And this person I was talking about, the Sumaya Yedali, she was coming from Somalia with her family because there was so bad there, and she and they went back on holiday.
Yeah. Yeah, but
and that was okay.
Yeah. Well, I think Switzerland have started to put an end to it, and I think Austria is trying to do something too with that. And really, if you are giving asylum because your home country is a terrible place, okay, fine. But if you go on vacation to that country, it might mean that your real motives for coming to Norway or to Sweden or to Germany, maybe your motives were something else, that you wanted to come to a country where you would get benefits and all the freedoms that you don't have at home. But
it's allowed to be kind to people.
Yeah.
But we are not kind, we are stupid.
Yeah.
And that's two different things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do we have anything more to add here?
No, I think we have talked a lot.
Yeah.
Is there anyone?
Okay, I'll address this comment, since I get this a lot from people who I think maybe they have misunderstood what I'm about, or maybe they are trying to make me move in a direction I have no interest of moving in. So I'll take the comment from Alice. The Bonnier family controls Sweden. Well, you could say that the Bonnier family owns a lot of the Swedish media, but most of the people who go on about the Bonnier family are people who want to point out that they have Jewish background. Yes, the Bonniers was a Jewish family, but they have intermarried with Swedes, and I don't think they go to the synagogue even anymore. So really, that's just an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory going on. Speaking of conspiracy theories, and I'm not about that. No. And I won't address it any more than that. I've said my piece on it now. So I might not address it again until next.
I don't have. It's like in Norway, Sian supports Israel, and we support their fight to have their own country.
Yeah.
But in Norway, as in any other countries, we have many Jewish people that is just destroying our society with their thinking and their. And the demonization of Sian and the people that are against Islam.
Yeah.
Because we have like Herman Kohl, the leader of
Ervin Kohl.
Ervin Kohl, yeah, a person in Norway, and he's a Jew, and he means that Islam in Norway is no problem, but
when it comes to him, I wonder if he has internalized some dhimmi mentality. And also
there's no logic in what he's saying at all. So
and also, how do you put it? Practicing Jews are usually more conservative.
Yeah.
And actually, if you look at Israeli politics, they wouldn't allow the things that are going on in Western Europe or in Canada.
Yeah.
While non-practicing Jews are usually more liberal.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing that's with Europeans or any other country. You have a split between, we might call it conservatives and liberals, or nationalists versus globalists, whatever terms you use here. You can, I mean, for instance, I have a friend who is a pastor in Uganda. He is Ugandan, and he lived in Norway for a few years while he was studying. He was on some kind of scholarship, so as far as I know, it didn't cost Norway a cent. And then he moved back to Uganda because he said, God wants me to go to Uganda, so I'll go to Uganda. And he told me when he was starting to look at my videos, and he said that he agreed with me on Islam, and he said that Idi Amin tried to Islamize Uganda, but thank God that he didn't succeed. So to me, it's not an issue of ethnicity or skin color or race. To me, it's an issue of ideas, to put it that way.
Yeah, I say often that the skin color is not a problem for Sian. Also, we have people from Iran holding speeches for Sian, and they are not white in the skin.
No, they are more brownish.
Yeah. So the funny thing is in Norway, and I guess in Sweden as well, is that the people that are talking that say that skin color is doesn't matter.
Yeah.
These
but
people,
they talk about it all the time.
These people are talking about it all the time.
Yeah.
Like the last election in Norway, the parliament was Blenda White. They said it was Blenda White, and they use all these fancy words to explain for the Norwegian people that white people and.
Yeah, they have some kind of hang up.
Yeah, I mean, I have maybe 100 hours with speech on YouTube, and I haven't mentioned skin color one single time.
No, because that's not relevant. But people want to tie us with that. They want to lump us in with that crowd.
And then I went to a anti-racist organization had a meeting, and it was about Donald Trump, and the white skin, the white people are doing that. The white people, or in Norway, the white people. It was skin color all the time.
Yeah. Let's see. Free Thinker, he's from Denmark. He has a lot of. I'll read. He says, "What is the biggest immigrant group in Norway?" I think it used to be Pakistanis, but I'm not sure about now.
I think it's it's Pakistan or Somali.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
I think it's Somali.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, and they are a pretty recent group in Norway.
Yeah, and the problem is that Somali group is by far the group that is costing the society most money.
Yeah,
it's like.
Yeah, and you know,
most problems, most crimes, and most and costing most money.
And you know, I mentioned this a few days ago. You had Somalis going to Kenya to commit terror. You had the attack on a shopping mall in Nairobi a few years ago. One of the attackers was a Norwegian citizen of Somali background, by the way. And then Kenya went after Al-Shabaab to fight them. I think they went into Somalia actually with their army and fought Al-Shabaab. And I said to a friend of mine, "Oh, so now the Kenyans are racist." And of course, it was in sarcasm, but the sarcasm is if you're against Islam, you're racist. And thus, Kenyans are racist against Muslims. Or, I mean, it's crazy, but...
You can only be racist if you're white. Like it's almost there.
Almost. But if you are a black conservative in the US, they will use a lot of nasty terms to describe you.
Yeah.
And they might even say that you're a self-hating black person who are in favor of white supremacy and all of that other crazy stuff. We might, no, maybe we got a little off. I don't know, but a lot of that stuff is going on. But it's just crazy, and we have to stand on facts. I mean, the reason we can't win over our opponents, I mean the hardcore group, is because they reason emotionally.
Yeah, only feelings.
Yeah, and we reason with facts. But as I say, we might win over some of the people listening. There might be some people who are trying to be fact-based listening and who are undecided on the matter. We won't win over the people who...
You will win the people over when they are feeling the consequences on their body.
Yeah. And
because you can brainwash the people as much as you want.
Yeah.
But you can't hide the consequences.
Right. And yeah.
So like this topic, you can just talk for hours.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we could. I guess we've been on for a little over an hour now, so we could try to round this up. So, well, I have asked you before, but I'll ask again before I finish this. Do you want to add anything at the end here?
No, I think we have said most of it.
Yeah. So, well, again, thank you
But,
very much.
but I think it was funny to be
Yeah.
interesting to.
Yeah, and maybe we can do this again some other time.
Just
Yeah.
say the word and I'm ready.
Yeah. So thank you very much for coming this evening, and well, I wish Stop Islamization of Norway all the luck in the world. And
Yeah, we are growing.
yeah, and
Yeah, we are growing. Every time the Muslims in Norway are showing the true face, we are getting new members.
Yeah. So I hope and pray for success for you, and to all the people who have been here, well, thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. I haven't been able to respond to many of your comments because, well, I had a guest, so I only responded to a little. But thank you for being here. And you can share this video. You can share this video on Facebook or social media after and make other people watch. That would be great. So
I'm going to give you the link to the.
yeah, I will add links to the YouTube page of Stop Islamization of Norway, and a link to the video from the Gjøvik battle.
Yeah.
I'll look for it.
Yeah, and you can take maybe the Gjøvik and Arendal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So until next time, have a nice day and God bless.